What's up? My name is Max. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back and welcome to today's video. Today's video is the final video in the month-long series I've been doing on posting every day on social media platforms, and I'm going to share the results with you. So if you haven't been following the other videos in the series, I'll do a brief overview so you have an understanding of what I've been doing for the past 30 days. The type of content I've been posting has been music-based content revolving around recreating a sound an artist has, and it's usually been an artist that has been either trending or has a top 10 song on Spotify. This content has been in the form of TikTok posts, Instagram Reels, and YouTube Shorts. I've not done anything with long-form content for the challenge, but I am interested in maybe doing that in the future. So when it comes to views throughout this challenge, there was definitely a spike from the beginning when I first started posting to like the end of the first week, going from a couple hundred views to, for some videos, a couple thousand views, depending on the platform. And honestly, over the course of this challenge, the views didn't change a whole lot, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. I was still able to see growth where I was most curious growth would happen, and that was definitely with either subscribers or followers. But getting back to the views quickly, it did end up bringing me some business for my music business, so it was reaching the right people even though the audience wasn't necessarily vast or the numbers weren't incredibly high. The algorithms were still targeting the content to the audience it was intended for, so it was really cool to see that even though the numbers weren't like Mr. Beast, it was something that could work for the intention it had, and then it was also able to grow my followers as well. So getting into the followers, this is really where I was surprised because I expected, some people to tag along on the journey, but I didn't think it was going to grow as much as it did. So for some context with followers, before doing any of this daily posting or this type of content, I would gain followers very, very slowly. I would say on average on Instagram, I would maybe gain 5 a month. On average on TikTok, I would gain 0 a month. And on YouTube, maybe like 8 to 10 a month. But after doing this challenge, I definitely see how growth is possible in different ways because this was crazy for me. I did not expect it to pick up as much as it did. As always on this channel, gotta get some coffee. So when it comes to followers on Instagram, I went from 507 to 521, and that's pretty good. Again, like I said, I would maybe get 5-ish followers a month on Insta, and I was posting some content before, but I really see now that consistency is something that they like seeing on all platforms, and on Instagram, it's really cool because it has been from artists who are interested in following me. Before, it would be some random person. From time to time, it would be someone trying to sell me something. Other times, it would just be a random page kind of in the niche that my content is based around. But the followers I've gotten in the past month have been people who are either interested in my music, potentially interested in working with me, or just think what I do is cool. So it's really been cool to know that I'm gaining followers that are interested in the type of content I'm posting, not just people following me to follow me. Next to TikTok. On TikTok over the past month, I went from 63 followers to 93 followers, and that is crazy because my TikTok over the course of the past 3 to 4 years has had 63 followers, and that is with pretty consistent content posting over there. Nothing crazy, but I was posting more over there than I was on Instagram, and my followers just would never pick up. I would get some engagement, but people wouldn't really follow me. And that, again, has been one of the biggest takeaways with this challenge is the type of content I've been making shows me that people will engage with other types of content more than what I was posting. So now I'm showing my face as opposed to showing a screen recording of a Google link to an MP3 file. And it is showing me that kind of having the personal brand aspect of it is important because I gained just about half of the total amount of followers I had at the beginning of the month in just 30 days, and the 63 followers from before were over the course of 3 to 4 years. Now over to YouTube, and this is the one that kind of surprised me the most. Previously on YouTube with this type beat and music oriented channel, I had I have had this channel for about a year and a half, and I would get, steady growth, but nothing crazy. It wasn't, getting picked up in the algorithm in the way I would have wished with daily posting. It was converting to some music sales and clients and stuff, but it wasn't anything to the extent of what you hear can happen with that kind of content on YouTube. So I was really curious with this challenge the most to see what happened on YouTube, because subscriber growth has been slower even if views pick up, and I really wanted to see if switching from longer form content to short form content would make an impact and improve my subscriber growth. And I can say that without a doubt is the case. And just for context, with subscribers before on the channel, it would be in very weird spikes. So I would have a video that would maybe get 5 times more engagement than previous ones, and that would get me a good group of subscribers, but then it would kind of drop off and fall around maybe 10 a month on average. So it was really cool to see actual growth consistently with this. So on YouTube, I started this challenge at 493 subscribers, and I ended the challenge at 540 subscribers. And that's really cool for me because it shows that people actually like this type of content. Again, using my face, because if you're not familiar with type beat channels, you typically will either have a photo or a 10-second loop from the artist's music video of the sound you're trying to emulate, and that will just kind of play as the song goes on. So this really was informative for me with content, because it shows that people engage with the style of video I was doing, which was different from what I was doing before. And it was working in this format of content that was short form. It didn't necessarily show the full song in its entirety, but it was reaching the group of people it needed to. And it was in a format that was, I think, more easily digestible and entertaining to watch. So what I've really gained from this, aside from nearly 50 subscribers in a month, which is crazy, is it's really making me think about that channel overall, because now that I'm seeing people like this type of content, I kind of want to experiment with that on a larger scale and make long form content in the same style. So that might be a challenge that I incorporate into this channel in the future as well. But it really has opened my eyes to how experimenting and not kind of getting stuck in the same thing, like the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result, kind of getting out of that and seeing that doing things differently can work and work really well. So yeah, that was the final update for my posting every day for 30 days challenge. I definitely am interested in doing variations of this challenge in the future. So let me know if there's any variation you would like to see or any comments you have on the challenge overall. Definitely check out the other videos if you're interested in some more in-depth breakdowns, because I do go over things a little bit more from week to week in those ones. But this is just kind of the general summary and my thoughts on the challenge overall. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Comment down below what you thought of the challenge as a whole, and I will see you in the next one.